This is Eric from Aittala, and you're listening to the Rock Metal Podcast with John Harris. Turn it up.
So Rock Metal Nation, I have got on the line today Aittala, a heavy metal hard rock band from Raleigh, North Carolina, USA, and I'm super stoked to have them on. Today I'm joined by a member of Aittala, Eric. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, John.
Cool. Let's go and listen to the first track, American Nightmare. right, coming back from American Nightmare. Killer track, by the way, my good man.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. What is the story or inspiration behind American Nightmare?
I knew I was going to get asked that question, and to tell you the truth, I don't have a great answer. I mean, you could say, I kind of wrote that song probably about a year ago, and people want to put some kind of meaning to like, oh, it has something to do with what's going on in America, with politics, and but I don't write political songs. To tell you the truth, the song is a bunch of good sounding lyrics that sound good together and sound sort of metal. So there's no great story behind it. There's no inspiration of some cataclysm event that's happening in America. I think it's just cool lyrics that sound good together.
And as reasonable as that, because it is reasonable, I remember watching this video of John Lennon getting, I don't know if I call it interviewed, but there was this like homeless man at his house, and he was like, "Oh man, you wrote this song for me." He's like, "Okay, number one, I don't know who you are, so that's impossible that I wrote that song for you. And number two, Paul wrote those lyrics, so I definitely didn't write that song for you." It's just like, you can turn it into whatever you want, but really at the end of the day, he's like, they're words that rhyme, and Paul wrote it, like whatever, like, but cool stuff.
That's a good thing about songs, right? People can interpret them however they want, and some songs I do write with a story in mind. I'll formulate a plot line in my head, I'll have characters, and sometimes songs are just words that sound good together. And ironically, a while ago, and I can't even remember what song it was, but I was talking to somebody online, they found the band, and they were like, "Oh, I really like such and such song." And I said, they were asking me about it, and I said, "Well, it really has no particular meaning, it's whatever meaning you find in it." And they were telling me that I was wrong on what my song was about, and they assigned, and it's great that they found meaning to it, but I was telling them that, well, when I wrote it, it didn't really have any particular meaning. So, yeah. But again, that's the thing about art, it's subjective, and people can find their own meaning within the words, and that's what it's all about, right? You write something, you put it out there, and you're happy when people are touched or they find some kind of deeper meaning in it, even if I didn't have a deeper meaning to provide at the time.
Absolutely. Now, Rock Metal Nation, if you dug that track, American Nightmare, there's also a music video for it, which is a insanely cool music video as well. That is going to be posted on today's show notes. So if you go ahead and go to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, where you can go ahead and see today's show notes for this interview, you will also be able to see as a bonus the music video for American Nightmare, which is definitely a very cool video to check out. Now, let's go and listen to the next track, Essence.
Lost
Okay, coming back from Essence, same question for you, Eric. What is the story or inspiration behind Essence?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Unfortunately, it's the same as American Nightmare. It's just cool lyrics that kind of went along with, the groove of the music. I just wrote some verses, and I thought they sounded kind of good together. So no crazy, of course I gave you 2 songs that you asked me the meaning of that have no real deep meaning behind them. But I do have songs that have deep stories. Trust me, people, I just didn't submit those songs for the show.
Aww.
Like, I'll give you a great example of one. I have on the new album, there's a song called Incognito. And the whole song, I actually wrote it a long time ago, and it's kind of a remake of a song that I just did as a demo. But the song is about a guy that's a secret agent, and he's in deep cover. It was kind of inspired by the movie Deep Cover, which kind of ages me. But it's about a guy who's undercover, and he's so undercover he forgets who he is, and then he falls in love with this woman. And so there's a whole story behind that one. So go check out Incognito off the American Nightmare album.
All right, so Rock Metal Nation, there's another track called Incognito about a guy who's a secret agent who's in deep cover, who gets so deep. Anyway, really cool stuff there as well. We'll definitely get some more information about the rest of the album for Rock Metal Nation, who digs the tracks that they have heard today, and they definitely want to hear more. Now, my next question, though, is what exciting news do you have coming up for Rock Metal Nation to pay attention to?
Right now, it's probably thinking about some new videos. Actually going to shoot a video for Essence probably in the next couple months, or at least create one. Maybe not shoot one specifically, but use some live footage. And working on some new material. So that's probably about it. Probably from here on out, probably going to be, instead of focusing on the albums, recording entire albums and releasing albums, doing more of a 4-song EPs and release those kind of as they're ready, right? Because it takes a lot of time and effort to do an entire album of 10 songs. Mm-hmm. And so I think little bite-sized chunks probably make sense going forward. So probably, I know it's a while away, next year, but, probably look for a new 4-song EP from Aittala.
Yeah, very cool stuff. So Rock Metal Nation, we plan on having some more music videos coming out, maybe even one for Essence, which is the second track that you heard today. So if you dug that track, man, keep out. There could be a music video coming down the pipeline. And then as well, some new material. The conversation coming from Aittala is going to be a 4-song EPs. There's probably one next year, which we'll definitely have to bring you back onto the show for that one. Now, my next logical question is for Rock Metal Nation listening in today who has heard your tracks, they love the music, they want to stay in touch and find out more. How can they find out more about you? Is there a website that they should go to?
Of course, there's plenty of web presence. There's the main website, which is just Aittala.com, which is AITTALA.com. Of course, we have a Facebook. The Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are all Aittala Music, right? One word, AITTALAMUSIC, and Twitter as well. So you go to any of those platforms, or even if you just Google Aittala, it'll be the first thing in the Google search. So we're easy to find. Find us on Facebook and like us, or follow us on Instagram, or whatever social media platform you use.
Perfect. All right, Rock Metal Nation, if you dug everything that you heard today, go ahead and go to Aittala.com. That is AITTALA.com, the main hub where you can find out everything going on. If you're into the social media and you are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, just look for @Aittala_music, and you'll be able to find them there. Or, heck, just pull up Google. Google can find just about anything, and Aittala's working on taking over the world. Google is the world. It just kind of works out naturally. Now, Eric, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing your creativity with Rock Metal Nation.
Thanks, John. I appreciate the opportunity to come on the show.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Aittala. Big thanks again for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.